Are you an independent author with an incredible story to share? Are you afraid your book will get lost in a sea of books? True Vine Publishing Company can help you stand out. We're not just a publishing service, we're your partner in success. We provide personalized marketing strategies and eye-catching covers that will captivate your audience. We will build your author platform and connect with your readers. We have helped countless authors achieve success, and we can help you too. Break free from the shadows, take control of your publishing journey, and make your mark. Visit TrueVinePublishing.com or call 615-44-BOOKS to schedule a consultation.
Hello, this is Timothy Bond with True Vine Publishing Company, and you're watching the next episode of The Right Change, where our guest today is my brother, Jamael McCauley, author of A Stained Glass Window. What's up, Jamael?
What's up, Tim? Man, it's so good to be back in Nashville. Feels real great to be in the city. I just left from up at TSU, seeing all the young scholars. So, it feels real good to be back.
Did you walk through the student center?
Yeah, they let me walk through the student center and everything. I went to the bookstore, got my wife a shirt. I ordered mine online. Walk to the new communications building because were you a communication? You were English major.
I was an English major, but then I did a minor in journalism.
Yes.
So I did a few communications.
Okay.
Classes.
Yes. So I walked through the new Performing Arts Center, and it was amazing. It was great because back in 97, 98, 99, we had the little small building. Everything was kind of outdated even at that time.
Yeah.
But go TSU.
Yeah. Jamael was my college roommate. I think one of the first guys I met in the TSU meter where we started writing together. Jamael was writing sports. I envied you too, man. I did. Wow. I envied you because I felt like I wasn't as good as you. And like you were doing sports and you knew how to like really capture sports. And I always felt like when I wrote, I was just putting words together. That's how I felt. Like other people, and even today I sometimes feel like that. Other people would be like, man, that was a great story. But in my head, I just felt like, man, what word can I use? So I feel like I'm just piecing words together. And you was just like, yeah, the football player was so dynamic, and you would use it. I think you tried to...
Interesting. But you were a great journalist as well, as we could see with you having your own publishing company now. So.
Yeah, things have gotten great, man.
But I appreciate that.
Yeah, no.
And then sports is a little bit different because, sports is kind of exciting. You have to use the adjectives to describe and everything. I think you were writing news.
I was writing news, and I think I had a conversation with you once about thinking about switching to sports, and you were kind of giving me game on like how to do it, and I was like, man, I don't know.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, but I'm excited, man. First of all, I always like to thank my clients for giving me the opportunity. I'm not surprised, but it was a pleasant surprise when I got your call and you said you're ready to take that next step. The reason I say I'm not surprised is because and we talked about this, I believe everybody God has put in my life is there for a purpose and for this reason. I haven't had one person that connected in my life that it wasn't revealed why, at some point. And so I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to publish your book.
Yes.
But I'll give you a little time to talk to the audience, let them know who is Jamael McCauley, and
So I appreciate you as well. But Jamael McCauley, who is Jamael McCauley? Jamael McCauley is a husband, a father, a son, an uncle, and an author. Writing is my passion. Writing is what I enjoy doing. Obviously, is what I love to do. I don't put a lot of work out to the public, but I'm always writing. And my new book, A Stained Glass Window, is a book of poetry and short stories with a Bible verse that accompanies every story or every piece. And I put this book out in honor of my 50th birthday. I turned 50 last month, March 1st, and I was like, you know what, it's time. God was just nudging me, like, it's time to come from behind the pen, show my face. If you know me, you know I'm very reclusive, very introverted, but God has been working with me, and, you know, it's a blessing that I'm here with you.
He's reclusive. He got bit by a brown recluse.
How you remember that?
I remember everything, man.
No.
Isn't that crazy?
No, that's crazy.
You got that reclusive gene in you.
Yes. So let me tell the story. I was 19 years old. I left St. Louis when I was 19 years old, moved to Memphis, 30 miles outside of Memphis in the country. My mom and my stepdad have a farm. And so, you know, there's bugs, there's spiders, there's all kind of rodents running around, things I've never seen before. But I got bit by a spider while I was asleep. And it put me in intensive care for a few days. I almost had to get a blood transfusion. It was very painful. It was very
big old scar on his leg. But
you remember that too? Man. Your memory is better than mine.
So let's talk about, you know, poetry. Of course, sometimes people feel like poetry, this is a passion book, right? And you have lots of poetry. Was this years of poetry, or was this just a moment in time where something really got into your spirit? How did you come about writing these poems and putting this book together?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've been writing, just journaling, doodling, since I was probably 19. And everything from that point up until now I'm 50, I've kept. So I just have notebooks just full of my writings. And so last summer, I'm a teacher, so I have the summers off. I took the summer off, and I was like, you know, it's time. So I went digging through the crates, as they say, going through the notebooks, and I just started updating a lot of the stuff, you know, because a lot of it was outdated. And that's how I put this collection together. It took about, you know, I guess I worked on it for roughly a year. And it just came about. But the thing that's different is, you know, I'm always writing creatively. But it was like, I got to do something for God. Like, God has blessed me and done so much for me. So let me add Bible verses to this book and just put him in the midst of what I got going on, which is something I've never done before. You know, I'm kind of stubborn. I always think I could do things on my own. And, you know, they don't work out the way I want. But I said, you know what, I'm going to put God in the midst of this and have this blessing on it.
It takes a huge leap of faith to put that book out, you know? Yes. Many people have different fears, fear of rejection, fear of failure. Did you deal with that? And how did you overcome that?
Yes, I definitely dealt with that because I talk about a lot of personal things in the book. My childhood, my teenage years when I wasn't making the best decisions, running around in the streets, my family, touch on family stuff a little bit. So I definitely had that fear. I had the fear of being judged, you know, the shame, the embarrassment of doing things that I wasn't proud of when I was a kid. But God told me, you know what, you have a testimony. Share your testimony. Show people how I have shown you grace, how I've shown you mercy, and let me deal with the rest. I'll deal with the naysayers. So, of course, I had that fear, but I overcame that fear with, you know, just having faith, trusting God.
You got kids, right?
Yes.
Did you share any of that poetry with them?
Yeah.
What's your family say about it?
So my daughter Maya is my, you know, I go to her when I write a piece and I read this.
Oh, really?
Read this. What do you think? What do you think? She'd be like, Dad, it's good. It's good. My son, I'll show it to him. Jared, I'll show it to him and be like, you know, he's
ain't feeling it.
He ain't into that. And then my oldest daughter, she's away at school, so she doesn't get to read, you know, much. I'll show it to my wife. I'll show it to Shannon. He'd be like, I like that. And, you know, But of course, I always had, as a writer, I think all writers have that fear, have that doubt. One of the poems in the book is called A Writer's Anxiety. And it just describes, how I feel in regards to sharing my writing with the public. And, but yeah.
Yeah. I know you say your passion is writing. Your book has short stories as well. Talk to us about those short stories, and because I know when we first started, you were kind of grappling with, did you want to do something for kids or focused on adults or youth, or like, so how did you come to I guess a concise decision and start incorporating those short stories?
Yeah, that's a great question as well. Anybody who knows me knows my passion is working with youth. Just mentoring youth, just helping them out. But I do kind of feel like this book is geared a little bit more towards adults. I think teenagers will understand it, but they have to be a little bit older, maybe 16, 17, 18. I teach middle school. I wouldn't recommend my middle school students to read the book. But I just kind of like God just guide me. I prayed a lot.
Yeah. I
prayed a lot and just asked God to guide me. But the short stories, I'm a self-proclaimed weirdo. I'm a self-proclaimed weirdo. So I'm a loner. And I am that way because I'm typically like got all these words just in my mind or these stories, and I'm piecing it together. A lot of times I write a story in my head before I put it on paper.
Oh, really?
And so I'm usually just like thinking. It's weird. And then working in social services for a number of years, I encountered a lot of people with mental health problems, drug addiction, just families who were in bad situations. And they are, I turned a lot of their situations into stories, just kind of fictionalized it. But I do like to say that my poetry and my short stories are realistic fiction or realistic poetry.
Okay.
But that's how the short stories came about, just being creative.
Where do you see yourself going from here? I know the books haven't arrived yet.
Yes.
But this is the leap. What's your vision?
Yeah. So my vision is Netflix, HBO Max, Amazon Prime, Google, Apple. I'm coming.
Okay.
That's kind of like my vision. But I do want to take it to the next level. I'll always continue to put out books, but I do want to get more into script writing.
Okay.
I actually started writing my first script at TSU. I actually wrote my first book, co-wrote it with Jerry Ingram. Salute Jerry Ingram.
Okay,
He birthed me as an author. He was my mentor in college. I was 22 years old. He got me an internship at the Florida Today newspaper.
Really?
So I went down to Florida, cover some stories, soccer stories, do basketball tournaments, things like that. And that's what kind of birthed me into writing. He was like, you know what, we should write a book. Just a fictionalized book about my life, about your life, and just lived experiences, things that we've seen. And we did that. We wrote that book in 3 weeks.
Really?
Yes.
3 weeks. Did y'all publish it?
It's published.
Okay,
it's published.
What's the name?
The name of the book is I Know Why, I Wonder Why, Never Mind. No, I wonder why, I know
Really?
I know why, never mind.
Bro, I didn't know about that.
Yes, yeah, I told you, man.
You ain't told me about that, man.
You so busy, man.
I would have definitely bought that. Did y'all sell it, or what y'all do?
It's on Amazon. We self-published it. And, at the time, so we did this we wrote it when I was still a student at TSU, but we didn't actually publish it, I want to say to 2011, 2013. So we're talking about, it was written in 99 and wasn't published until 12 years later.
Yeah.
And at the time, I'm a writer, so I'm not thinking about marketing, promotions, things like that. We just put it up on Amazon. But I've been in touch with Jerry. And we're going to do
I gotta
something. We have
definitely get that.
a major announcement coming soon.
Yeah, I gotta definitely get a copy of that. I did not know anything about that, bro.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
And
cool.
another book that's already completed is called Life is Good Every Day with my best friend, Kenneth LeJay. We wrote the book, we published it, we already have the copies, but we never put it out. So I have some things in store. But yeah, I'm just working. I'm busy. It feels good to be back in a good creative space because my creativity comes in spurts.
Yeah.
I do get writer's block just like everyone else, and sometimes, I just don't want to write. I'm just not in the mood to write.
Yeah.
But
I'm happy. See, True Vine, we bust the doors open. This is what we doing. So he's got multiple books, and nobody knows about them. So True Vine, this is the exclusive, baby.
Yeah, Kenny, that's my best friend.
Yeah.
It's
So
coming. We're gonna talk, man.
The book is I Know Why.
I Wonder Why.
I Wonder Why.
Never Mind.
Available on Amazon with Jamael McCauley and Jerry Ingram. All right, and then book 2.
Life is Good Every Day, co-authored with Kenneth LeJay, my best friend.
Okay, now what's that about? That sounds like that's on my frequency.
Yeah. So Life is Good Every Day is about. I kind of served as a ghostwriter for it.
Okay.
So it's about Kenneth's life. Kenneth and I, we grew up together. We've been best friends since kindergarten.
Okay.
He lived 2 minutes down the street from me. His house was the cool house. His house was the house we'll be down in the basement playing with WrestleMania game, Randy Macho Man Savage and Hulk Hogan just going crazy, playing double dribble. But Kenny is a guy from the inner city who went to corporate America.
Okay.
Which is very difficult to do in the environment that we lived in. We lived in a very dangerous environment, drug-infested, gang-infested, and for him to take it to corporate America and now be a business owner, it just speaks to, his resilience. But that book will be out soon. We have to talk about it, Kenny and I.
Yeah, awesome.
About when we want to put it out.
I think, and I honestly believe this, books, authors change the world. You think about Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, and anybody you want to think about who impacted this world, right? They were influenced by books they read, right?
I like that.
Martin Luther King was influenced by Gandhi's book, right? Who was Gandhi influenced by? Somebody, some book he read, right?
Sure.
So even though we may not see exactly what ripple we affected or what impact we made with any particular person, but when you write a book, you create a product and you create something that goes out and changes the way somebody thinks. You change the way I think. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna impact my household.
Sure.
My household is gonna impact my community.
Sure.
My community is going to impact my city.
Yes.
My city, the state.
Yes.
My state, the country.
For sure.
My country, the world. You see what I mean?
The world.
It's
a ripple
what I mean?
effect.
Yeah, it's a ripple effect. And when I first started saying this, God told me this is a world-changing publishing company. I told one of my mentors, and he said, "What about a community changing?" And I was like, "No."
That's too small, man. That's too small.
I mean, I get it. Some people just, they think humility is like not proclaiming what God can do. But, bro, when I think about like your book, the impact that your poems will have, your short stories will have, these books that you've already written, how they can change somebody's thoughts, man, like, it's world changing, man. It's world changing.
And I definitely do believe that because your platform is the first platform where I'm just like openly talking about these things.
Yeah,
so it's like it's kind of weird for me, but at the same time, it like you said, you change lives, you affect lives through writing, and for you to proclaim that you have a world changing publishing company. And I remember when I first reached out to you. And we began the process. What did you sent me a hat, the True Vine Publishing hat, which is hard. That hat is hard. And you said, "Post, I am a world-changing author."
Yep. Yep. In fact, I got the T-shirt on. I represent what I represent, people. I'm a world changing author.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I believe we are all connected in the fabric of humanity. If I pull one string, if I keep pulling, I could unravel this whole shirt. So people need to understand how important they are to the world, not just their little neck of the woods.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Not many people know that Martin Luther King tried to kill himself 3 times.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
3 times. Now, where would we be had he not had the influence?
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
That's why it's like you never know what one person can do. So anyway, that's all. How could people get in contact with you, man?
If you would like to get in contact with me, I have a website, JamelMcCauley.com. That is JamelMcCauley.com. I could also be reached on Facebook. My name on here is Jamael McCauley, JamelMcCauley. If you want to look up previous works on Amazon, JamelMcCauley. Instagram, Jamael. All right.
We get it. Listen, everybody, check out Jamael, Jamael. Jamael McCauley. I want you to like this video, share this video. Let's get the word out about his many works, not just the newest one. But, let's definitely get the word out about A Stained Glass Window, powerful poetry. Many people don't know poetry is one of the first things some of these restrictive countries start to ban because of the way poetry helps people see things differently and inspires thought. So you want to get his book as well. TSU, let's represent.
TSU.
Let's support our alma mater, our students. Blue. Yeah. And yeah, man, I really appreciate this opportunity to come out.
Yes.
Jamael came out to see me, y'all. He didn't do the Zoom.
I got on the road from Atlanta. Like, no, we're doing this in person.
So I gotta show him around town now. I gotta show him Nashville because it's new since he left. Like,
yes, it's definitely new. Hey, but go check out A Stained Glass Window. I think you guys will enjoy it. It's just me being creative. It also, like I said, it has Bible verses, so I'm hoping to provide some faith, some hope, and just some godliness to some of the writing that can be a little dark. But lastly, I just want to say all praises be to God. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy.
Y'all have a great day.